representing the hatchet. Whoop whoop!
Like a bitch, or have the cotton stew. I thought for a second, then I said, what the fuck? I ate so much cotton that my tongue came out her butt. Bitch, I'll have another bowl. My boys had to come and get
All right.
on the way.
Whoop whoop, welcome juggalos, juggalettes, ninjas, ninjettes, everybody showing clown love under the Dark Carnival's roof. I'm the player tonight. I got kind of a compilation CD that I made, and it's a ton of love and witches and warlocks and some other ICP music. Tonight's episode, Juggalo Professors with Clown Blow Your Dumb Science Show, is we're going to do a little, we call it socio-anthropology, and we're going to discuss the significance of the wicked clown. Because whether society likes it or not, Western society likes it or not, the rest of the tribal world, the uncivilized world, totally embraced the concept of juggalos and the Dark Carnival and wicked clowns, because they actually have that within their culture. There's an actual place for it, culturally. Nasty will provide some pictures, which you're looking at right now. And here's some, pictures of clowns from other cultures. And the significance of the clown in all cultures around the world is universal. It does the same thing over and over and over again. It helps society deal with trauma and pain and suffering and hardship. Clowns were really important after disasters, after wars, the loss of loved ones. That's why at festivals there's clowns, because there were some people that would come to the festival who lost a loved one that year, and they'd be a little sad and a little upset. And guess what? It was the clowns who would find those people and take their sorrow and make them happy and help them ease the pain. There's a spiritual healing significance to the clown. And so this episode is kind of focused and dedicated to all of those who choose to wear the paint, who choose to claim to be juggalos, who choose to decide that they're going to align themselves with a certain philosophy in life, and that philosophy is the philosophy of the Dark Carnival. And if you're choosing to do that, you're choosing to take on a thousands-year-old human tradition of a spiritual energy that is greater than yourself. Because the clown is holy, and the clown is sacred. The clown is needed. Now, in American culture traditions, now I'm talking before white people showed up here, across all of North America, every single tribe has a sacred clown. Almost universally, the clown is kind of a scary character to have around, because you didn't know what the clown was going to do. They could do whatever. The clown also, usually traditionally, was a shaman, was a medicine man. Because in the tribes you had medicine women and you had medicine men, and they both served kind of different functions that healed the soul through different avenues. Because you don't always need the same medicine, because all sicknesses are different. You need different medicine for different sicknesses, and sometimes you had to go to the medicine woman for your sickness, and other times you had to go to the medicine man. So the medicine man, the shaman, he was somebody who traditionally, usually, had a really close encounter with death. Whether they actually died and came back, which was my case. I fell 30 feet off of a railroad trestle and landed in about 6 inches of water, missing 3 inches of my left hip bone, and I'm not supposed to be able to walk. So they had a death experience, or they had a close, powerful encounter with what we call Great Spirit. That which is greater than I. It's this thing that just profoundly affects and changes them for the rest of their life. So, by whatever means they became shaman, they had this way to access the spirit world. And in the spirit world, there are no secrets. There are no things hidden. And so the shaman winds up with the knowledge of the people in the community and the tribe. He's aware of what's going on. And so to heal people, they would take on the clown. And in the plains and throughout most of native culture, there's this clown that's called the Hyoka. And the Hyoka is, he's the contrary. Now, just on a surface view, he's the clown that would walk backwards and would say no when he means yes, and yes when he means no, and would engage in behavior that during powwow would cause people to laugh. And people that were sad or angry or upset, the Hyoka would come in and with his contrary medicine turn their sadness or their anger around and turn it into happiness and laughter. But the Hyoka is scary, because the Hyoka is aligned with the Thunderbird and the Thunder people. And so when the Hyoka shows up, that means some bad, evil stuff needs to be dealt with. And that's what the Hyoka comes in to deal with. He's a wicked clown. He's a contrary. You're talking about some really scary stuff. You got to be a really well-grounded person who hasn't done anything bad in order to survive that medicine and enjoy that spirit when it comes around. Otherwise, you're gonna get clowned. That's what the Hyoka does. And within the tribe, usually what would happen is somebody would have a really sad event, like just really heartbreaking event. And in order to heal from that heartbreaking event, they would let the spirit of the Hyoka take them, and they would embody themselves as the Hyoka, and they would walk as the Hyoka for a time until they learned what they needed to learn. And the Hyoka's medicine from within that individual healed them. So all of you who are wearing the clown makeup, you're just healing yourselves from whatever it is that you're hurting from. And at the same time, you're teaching everybody else around you, hopefully, in a positive way by living a good and righteous life. Because the clown was never evil. The clown was never bad. In all the cultures and all the traditions, the clown does some really scary stuff. But that's the whole point of it. It's to make you confront your own personal fears of prejudice and your own personal fears of the bad things that you've done in life. It's all reflected in that clown. Because the clown also reflects innocence, purity, childlike wonder of the world. I mean, how many kids do you watch trying to do things out there, 5, 6, 7 years old? They do it backwards. That's the Hyoka. The spirit of the Hyoka in the child. The spirit of the Hyoka comes in many, many, many manifestations, but it's always the clown. And it's always there to heal you in the darkest of times. I encourage every juggalo and juggalette in the dark carnival that if you wear the makeup, you take out your smartphone and make yourself smarter phone. Take out your make yourself smarter phone and Google Hyoka, Hyoka, and study what the Hyoka is in different traditions, because the Lakota have a different way of looking at it than the Apache. The Apache have a different way of looking at it than, say, the Cheyenne.
Heyokea.
Hyoka. Hyoka. And take pride in being a Hyoka. And in order to honor your Hyoka self, hey, why don't you walk backwards occasionally? And we all know that the murder wicked shit, it's straight up contrary, because it means live a righteous life, doesn't it? Always remember, the Hyoka runs with a knife and a watermelon. Whoop whoop!